Hello everybody, welcome back to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler and this is Tallowisp Blue-White Spirits. Now let's actually take two of the deck tech here because the first time I did it I didn't have my camera recording, so I'm dumb, whoops. But this deck is sweet enough, it's worth recording a second time anyways. So, Blue-White Spirits is sort of the lesser played cousin of Bant Spirits, which is a deck that has existed on the fringes of Modern. Shout out to Caleb Durward for putting a lot of work into it. And has collected company at the top end and a lot of these same cards. But this deck has actually been making the rounds of Magic Online as a 5-0 finisher. And I guess it's all thanks to Curious Obsession. This weird little card from Ravos Vixelon that apparently she's making the difference in this deck. Enchanted creatures +1/+1 deals combat damage to a player, draw a card, and in step, if you didn't attack with the creature, sacrifice it. Now, what does that have to do with spirits? Tallowisp, a 1/3 spirit for 2. Whenever you cast spirit or arcane spell, which is turns out all of our deck, you can search your library for an aura card with enchant creature, put it in your hand. So, play Tallowisp, next turn, play spirit, go get a Curious Obsession out of your hand, put it on a creature, attack. You're always going to get through because all your creatures fly and you can protect them, etc., etc. And you just keep the gas coming. So, apparently it's a thing to get through games of Modern. I like it. Now we also have a Temporal Isolation in the main deck to also go get with the Tallowisp. It basically is a pacifism. Equipped creature can't really attack or block unless you have a shadow creature running around, and your print all damage will be dealt by it. So after that, we're a Spirits deck. We have Path to Exhaust removal, Ether Vials to get our creatures in faster. And between Ether Vial and the deck's natural abilities, basically, so much of our deck is to be played instant speed, we always get to just pass the turn. Mausoleum Wanderer, great one-drop, best Curse Catcher ever printed. It's a bunch that makes me sad for Curse Catcher. Selfless Spirit, Eldritch Moon card, creature control, get indestructible, Rattle Chains, one of the most powerful cards in the deck, and really underappreciated, I think, in some ways, because it has just so many abilities. Flash, Flying, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, a spirit gains hexproof until end of turn. That protects your creatures from spot removal. Pretty good when you're putting Curious Obsession on something. By the way, though, the secret ability that is often forgotten about, you may cast spirit spells as though they had flash. That means instant speed Drog Skull Captains, instant speed Eidolon of Rhetoric, a pretty sweet anti-storm, anti-bloodbraid card we get to play in the main deck here. Instant speed Selfless Spirits, protect against board wipes or removal. This deck just has a lot going for it. And of course, Spellqueller at the top end to mess with their mana. Tap out for Jace. Sure, I'll get a 2/3 flyer and counter it. And by the way, you're not going to be able to kill this when you do get your turn back. Drog Skull Captain, one of those reasons. It gives all your creatures hexproof and +1/+1, and forms a lock with Phantasmal Image where if you have two Drog Skull Captains out, all of a sudden all of your creatures have hexproof. You kind of locked your opponent. And with this card, not only do you have essentially copies 5 through 6 of Drog Skull Captain, it can be anything else you want. The other one we've got here is Bygone Bishop. Whenever you cast a spell with converted mana, cost 3 or less, investigate. All of our creature spells are going to trigger that, and investigate. It's just, again, another way to keep the gas coming in this deck. So you have a little bit of interaction with your opponent in the form of Spellqueller and Mausoleum Wanderer and Path to Exile and so on, but you're just very good at doing damage to your opponent while protecting your own creatures. Not basically everything you expect, not too many crazy surprises out of the lands, but we do get Cavernous Souls on Spirit, and we get Moorland Haunt. Now, this was an incredibly powerful card back in the days of Standard. A little bit forgotten about in Modern, but very strong. Each creature card that dies, you can exile from your graveyard, get a 1/1 Spirit, which in a Spirit deck is pretty good. Not to mention gives you another body to put Curious Obsession on. Moving on to the sideboard, we're going to play Spirit Link, another one you can go fetch up with Tallowisp, great against the aggressive decks, as is Azorius Herald. 2/1 unblockable. You gain 4 life when it comes into play. Not a great one to vial in because you lose it if you don't spend blue mana on it, but 4 life, unblockable, nice body all around. Blessed Alliance for boggles or when you need life, etc. Kataki. By the way, another Spirit, great against Lantern and Affinity and Tezzerator and all of that stuff. Same with Stony Silence. Recipes, of course, for graveyard decks, Ceremonious Rejections for Tron, Eldrazi, Lantern, what have you. That's a deck. This is Blue-White Tallowisp Spirits, everybody. This deck has been putting up results in Modern, and I'm very excited to play it. So thank you for watching. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mining Modern, and let's get to it.